Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. Today we're taking a look at Bitcoin dominance. Now, you may be wondering, what does that have to do with anything? Well, if you're an altcoin holder, you are not going to want to miss this video. Today we're going to show you when alt season and what you can expect, and we're going to take a look at some historical price action. So stay tuned. You're going to enjoy this video. Now, Bitcoin dominance, if you're not sure what that is, it is a measure of the total crypto market cap, everything that's going into crypto, how much of that is going into Bitcoin. When Bitcoin dominance is going up, that means more money coming into the crypto market is going into Bitcoin than your altcoins. When Bitcoin dominance is going down, that means more money is coming into your altcoins than is Bitcoin. Now, if cryptocurrency total market cap is coming down and dominance is coming down, that means money's leaving the altcoin market cap and Bitcoin market cap. It's just leaving the crypto market in general, but that's not what we're expecting here. That's not what we're hoping for either. So let's take a look and see what we've got. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart on the weekly time frame. This area that I have highlighted in green and blue here, this box right here, this is the bear market. We're going to pay less attention to that because we're currently in a bull market. So this doesn't really apply to what we're looking for today. We'll revisit this when that time comes. But this channel right here, this blue and red channel, it goes all the way back to 2022. So this channel is over 3 years old. You can see dominance has been increasing. A few dips here and there. We're going to show you what that looks like with price action of your altcoins. But for the most part, it has been going up and down, respecting this lower trend line until now. We have, as you can see, broken down from this trend line for the first time in 3 years. We came down out of the channel, but it's not official until you come back and retest it. We bearishly retested it, had a little wick above it here, but we never closed inside of the channel. So bearish retest, and now we're rejecting from that. So we are looking for continued downside on Bitcoin dominance, which is great for your altcoins. So we can expect some further downside. It doesn't mean it's going to go down in a straight line. You're probably going to get some chop before going down. And let's talk about how much chop and how fast. So if we scroll back here, we can see all the way back to 2017. I have a volume profile on this chart. Now, with volume profile, we are... what did I do? There we go. The volume profile, it works just the same as it would on price action. You have your value area high, your value area low, and your point of control. You can see during the bull run, we came up, broke through the point of control, came back down, and just like your trend line, multi-year trend line, we have broken below the point of control, come back up for a bearish retest, and rejected from that. That is fantastic news for your altcoins. Also, on a volume profile, volume gaps work exactly the same too. You see right here, I've highlighted this. You have this big spike at the point of control, but your next largest spike, it actually comes out a little further. You can't see because of this white line, but I've highlighted it with this white line. This is what we need to break. Look what happens when you break that. You have this massive volume gap right there. Volume gap means that's where very little price action is. So there's not much support and resistance. Look, when you broke through it to the top side here, straight line, very little chop. When you came back through it in the last, what would be alt season, straight line as soon as you broke that, about 53.5% Bitcoin dominance. So that is our target. We need to break below that, and you will find your alt season. I have that marked out right here. This is our target, getting in this box, and you can look for a fast move down on dominance and fast move up on your altcoins. I'll show you what that looks like when we take a glance at a couple altcoins. You can see for the most part, it has bottomed out every single cycle, dipping a little bit below, but this is pretty much your bottom right around here, around 39, 40%, somewhere in there. It's hit 39% every single time, a little bit below here, but that's our target, right between there, between 50, let's call it 53 and 40%. That is your big alt season. Now, let's look over at total 2 market cap. If you're not familiar with total 2 market cap is the total crypto market cap minus Bitcoin, not including Bitcoin. So it's all the money flowing into every single altcoin. A lot of people like to pick out the stable coins, but I didn't for this example. It's okay. We're just looking at an example here of what happens. Let's look at the previous bull run when we hit some tops in dominance here. So when we hit the tippy top in Bitcoin dominance last cycle, back in 2020, that was the top of Bitcoin dominance right here, you can see. And you see the white line on the right, that coincided with the launch of your alt season. And from top to bottom, of course, there were some dips around the way. Top to bottom, your total two did almost an 800% rally, okay? And I've kind of sectioned these off here so you can see how they coincide with the dips in dominance. So you can kind of get an example of what goes on. You got this first run up with this big drop here, but right over here, you got a big old drop here, big drop in altcoin value, bam. And what happened here, it's kind of hard to see on this weekly chart. I can zoom in, but I won't. I'll just kind of show you a little bit here on the weekly. You came down right to that 53% mark that we're talking about. You came down right there and you came below it, but you bounced. So on this bounce, this was from wick to wick, about a 10% bounce. That's when you got your big drop here. So when Bitcoin dominance started bouncing, that means money started leaving the altcoin market and flowing back. Rotation of capital flowing back into Bitcoin. So whenever you get the bounce, you can expect your altcoins to take a hit while Bitcoin kind of steals the show for a little while. But that was short-lived, and then sure enough, we came back, broke the line, and once we broke the line, you have our next run up here to finish off alt season. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We can look at this cycle on total. I've marked them out. You can go back and check. I'll put it on the screen if you want to screenshot it and go take a look. But we're going to move on over to some altcoins instead. One of the coins I was kind of following last cycle was Algorand. It's been around for, I don't know, about 2.5 cycles or so. Whoops, wrong chart. It's been around for about 2.5 cycles or so. Algorand here on the weekly. Let's look at how that translated to an actual specific altcoin during the last cycle. So looking at Algo here. All right. So with this Bitcoin top, when Bitcoin dominance, when Bitcoin dominance topped, you can see the two white lines here, one on the left, one on the right. That initiated the big run up on Algorand. Before the first dip, when Bitcoin dominance hit that white line, Algo gave you over a 500% rally. You hit that white line, you bounced in dominance. We just showed that in the last section. You got that big dip and you came down. Bitcoin dominance dropped again, and when it dropped again, you got your next big rally. Which gave you another 325%. So from top to bottom, when Bitcoin dominance topped to Bitcoin dominance bottomed out, you looked at almost a 1,300% rally on Algorand. So you can see that from Bitcoin top here, Bitcoin dominance top, to Bitcoin dominance bottom, and you can see where that looks over on the right, where it tops out. You can see my dotted lines, they kind of line up on each chart from where I'm at in current date. So from the top to bottom, you got a 1,300% rally on Algorand. Bitcoin dominance, folks, is just topped. Now, Algorand's a little older coin, so you may not get quite as much of return on investment this cycle. Altcoins tend to perform better with more relevant, more recent coins. So let's look at a coin that I'm looking at this cycle, WorldCoin. Let's see how WorldCoin performs thus far. Come on, WorldCoin, slide over for me. There we go. All right, so we got WorldCoin chart here. WorldCoin was released to the market in 2023, July of 2023, so it's been around for a couple years, about 2.5 years. It's done pretty well. It ran up, saw an all-time high of 12 bucks. It's kind of been downtrending since with most other altcoins, so no surprise there. But let's look at this cycle when we've had our dips in Bitcoin dominance, how that's translated. The first one, we had a little dip here. You can see on the weekly, Bitcoin, a big 1 week candle down, 54% down to 50%, almost a 5% drop there. What did that give you on WorldCoin? Brand new coin, so I know it got a little more hype than maybe it would normally, but you got a big 450% rally just during that. That's not even from bottom to top. That's just from where that particular drop on dominance occurred. You got a 450% rally. That's on a 5% drop, folks. 5%. Fast forward here, we had another little drop. You can see my dotted line. We dropped on Bitcoin dominance. What did we drop here? From wick to wick, about 10%. In that 10% drop, we got a run up on WorldCoin of about 235%. All right. Fast forward a little more here. We got, let me expand it so it looks a little more impressive. Our most recent drop here on Bitcoin dominance, we had a little 1 week candle there, about a 7% drop. And on WorldCoin, that gave you about 180% pump. So these are just sort of 5-7% drops. What we're looking for now, guys, a drop to the bottom where it's always bottomed out from current Bitcoin dominance percentage to the bottom. You're going to be looking at about a 33 to 34% drop, somewhere in that area, about a 33% drop. Okay, you're doing 200% or so on 5 to 7% drops. Imagine if you got 30 more percent. And especially if you can hit this volume gap right here, how fast it's going to go. Chop, 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 bearish retest, fall. Imagine how fast that's going to go. 33% drop is what we're looking for. So you might be asking yourself now, when is this going to happen? And guys, I put a video out on this a couple of weeks ago. Go to my channel. Be sure you subscribe to my channel. That's all I ask. Subscribe to the channel. You may want to click the notification bell so you never miss these updates. But I put out a video called Win Alt Season. It explains in detail with historical price action what I'm about to tell you. There has never, ever been an altcoin season without quantitative easing. We have been in quantitative, this entire time the dominance has been going up, this entire bull run has been under quantitative tightening, every bit of it. Quantitative easing has always sparked the alt season every single time. Go watch that video. I prove it with historical chart data. Well, good news, folks. The Fed has announced that starting on December 1st, the Fed starts QE. QE to start on December 1st. Quantitative easing starts on December 1st. So I am telling you, your alt season will start on December 1st. Now, it will not be a straight line up. You're still going to have to break this 53 before you get the major move. But this is when you're really going to start to trend to the upside and look for that 53% break for the massive move up. But December 1st, go watch that video. Altcoin season is about to happen. Do not freak out about it being over for Bitcoin. It has to be over for Bitcoin. There has never been a blow off top for altcoins when the top has not already been in for Bitcoin. So top being in for Bitcoin is a good thing. Now we just need Bitcoin dominance to drop. Altcoins run. You have your alt season. It's right around the corner. It may extend out a little further than people like, maybe into January or February, but it is coming, guys. Be sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel so you never miss these updates.